You have to move away from too much specialization. And MBAs teach you to be entrepreneurs, right? So we are trained actually to think like an entrepreneur.
I think MBAs make the best startup founders, because what does a founder need to do? He needs to do a bit of everything.
Someone like me who has still stuck with this sector, but I kind of found a good blend between, a software career blended with automotive career kind of I've forced it on myself. I mean, if I really wanted it to, free flow and just go after the money side of it, I would have probably had to compromise on the vertical experience. You have to move away from too much specialization if you want to, really go up the ladder. But that's a personal choice, right?
Is when you over specialize, then short and medium term, it's very difficult to move around.
Yeah.
And it's true for liquidity. Your liquidity is so low that how will you even move around?
I agree.
But once you reach beyond middle or senior level, then you're probably the only one person. Your liquidity is still low. But because of that, if someone is looking for that spec, you can demand whatever. They will pay through their nose if it comes to that.
No, I think that's a very, very, it's a personal choice, I would say. Because I mean, as MBAs, we are trained to be generalists, right? The main thing that we learn in MBA, is what I learned, is about the importance of all the other departments in the company. Earlier as an engineer, you thought everything is revolving around engineering and manufacturing, but suddenly you realize finance is as important as HR, as important as sales, as important as purchasing. I mean, you can't have a good organization unless all the, and that only you learn when you look at it as a general manager. If you're not a general management person, if you're very biased as I'm only going to think in terms of HR, I mean, you can't do a lot of good to the company.
But my opinion, and this is my view, is I think MBAs make the best startup founders, because what does a founder need to do? He needs to do a bit of everything. He needs to know the tech. Or she. He or she needs to know the tech, needs to know some finances, how to manage cash flow, needs to know a bit of marketing, have to sell to customers, initial customers. Jack of all trades. You have to be jack of all trades. And I think MBA is the best jack of all trades in the world.
And MBAs teach you to be entrepreneurs, right? So we are trained actually to think like an entrepreneur. So I agree with you. And what you're saying is absolutely right. But in a large corporation, the equation changes.
Yes.
In a large corporation, it works different, because then you look at specialists differently from generalists when it comes to managing a large company. Because you don't want a very specialized, which is again very different in Germany. In Germany, you'll find, if you look at the board members, half of them will be doctors, PhD doctors. Because that economy, that the way the organizations also kind of, they like to have a lot of super specialized people on the board, which is not necessarily the case in US probably. It's a different kind of approach to how you run companies and how you manage companies. I think it's partly how the education system is, and how people are, the way people think, right? So it varies from country to country and so on and so forth.